she came on the scene at 13. So she was actually born in Pennsylvania and had this dream of like becoming, big in music. And when her parents decided to like take her seriously, they uprooted everybody in the family and moved to Nashville. And she started out as a country music singer. So,
And what year basically was that? Because I remember her country album
ooh, that was I want
or the country
to
phase,
I want to say it was like 2006-ish,
kind
maybe.
of around the middle, yeah, in that whole area there.
Might have been a little
And I
later.
remember her I remember her coming on the scene on the country side of things, and the big buzz with her is that she wrote all of her songs, right? She's
Yeah.
a good songwriter back being so young. And then I listened to her music because that was still at the tail end of me in my country phase. I was very much mid 90s in my college years. I was coming out of my rap phase and my R&B phase into my country phase, which was, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, all
Mm.
that stuff that everybody for the most part kind of listened to late 90s, early 2000s. She came on the scene, and then like the one of the first controversial things that I remember about her, just from reading headlines and stuff, is that she's leaving country and she's going pop, and like, that's when I first started hearing people kind of going after her.
So I think the first like really big drama thing that happened with her was she was big in country. Like her first ever hit on the billboards was I think Tim McGraw actually, and that's the first
Mm-hmm.
song I ever heard. And I did not listen to country music. She's 3 years younger than I am, and
Okay,
I didn't start listening to country music until I moved to Missouri, which was like 5 years ago. So I
and
heard her.
she's like 30, right?
She's 32, and I'm
Okay,
35.
32.
So,
Okay,
but I heard her country song on like a pop radio station that I listen to, and I was
sure,
like, well, it is what it is, but it's catchy. I liked it. I liked the way it sounded.
right,
The lyrics weren't like they didn't really speak to me, but I liked the way that it sounded, and I'm big on like the sound of music. If I think it's catchy, I'll break out the phone, I'll hit the Shazam, and I'll be like, okay, I'll add it to the
right.
playlist. But she actually won a Video Music Award um, for like Best Video of the Year, and that's when
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the Kanye drama started.
I
So
and that I remember that too,
yeah, so
right?
she's like up there giving her speech, like saying thank you, basically like for giving me this, even though like I'm in country music, and he runs up there and he's like, I'm gonna let you finish or whatever, but Beyonce had the best video like of all time, and she just like stood up there. It was like,
Right.
uh, okay. So
And do you think that was kind of the big pop culture moment that not only just people that listen to that music, but because, I mean, like our parents or whatever, would they see this happening and that kind of put her out there like super big?
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that reacted to it. Like even the president at the time was like, Kanye's a douche. Like
Right.
she's 17 years old when this happened. Like she's just a
Okay.
baby. So she's just up there trying to be like, thank you, I love Jesus and I love my fans. And he runs up there and kind of ruins her moment. And then she went quiet for a little while. And I think was like, how do I like bring my head out of the sand and like recover from this? And that's when she
Now,
kind of
your
started.
attraction to her music, like you were casually just like, oh yeah, I mean, I'd like a couple of the songs or something. Was it more the music, or were you more kind of drawn to her personally because you guys are roughly the same age? I'm just kind of curious.
I'm big on like poetry and I really like her lyrics. Like for me, she sometimes she puts out songs where the lyrics like really speak to me. Other times she puts out
Yeah.
songs where it's like the beat, the rhythm, and I just want to dance
Right.
and have a party or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
But I mean, age-wise, I always was just like, oh, she's just so young, but she's really not that much younger than me.
Right.
So,
And do you think that as it is right now, because I was talking to my wife the other night and I was like, I don't know necessarily if she still appeals to the younger female demographic, the young girls, like her. Does she, you think? Like, who is her demographic now? Because back then it was definitely the young girls, the preteens, the
Yeah,
teens.
it's, she still sings about kind of the same stuff. Like the love and falling in love and whatever and heartbreak and whatnot. But the style has changed, I think, a lot. So it went from like the really poppy, like upbeat, kind of faster
Hmm.
songs to, and I argued with my sister about this, about the new album. She's like, "What did you think?" And I'm like, "I like it, but like I kind of miss like the poppy songs, like the more upbeat, the faster." She's like, "Yeah, I do too." And I was like, "It's kind of indie for me." And she's like, "It's not indie." And I'm like, "What is it?" She's like, "Slow pop." Is that even a thing? Slow pop?
Yeah, but I think it also, and not that I'm this music expert or anything like that, but I mean, I think for sure her music has kind of matured a little bit. And I think at some point you're going to come out with like slow, poppy love ballads and stuff like that that are a little different than what they were when she was
I
younger.
kind of feel
But
like
did you,
her last three albums were that. And
well,
I
did
love them
you,
all, but it's just I kind of miss like the Shake It Off days, Like
right.
the I knew you were trouble when you walked in, or